Welcome to Klompien Aerobatic Competition 2025. The criteria for this competition is hover performance of the aircraft, takeoff performance of the aircraft, inverted flying performance of the aircraft, and looks of the aircraft. Our first plane will be Airworks 150cc. What an amazing takeoff. That takeoff will put a few points onto the leaderboard for the Airworks and straight into the inverse. It has very nice paint scheme as well, with the red and the yellow fitting very, very nicely. It will give quite a lot of points to the judges. The inverted flying is quite controlled, as it is a biplane and it has more lift, and it seems as the pilot has the plane under control. Now, let's check out the hovering capabilities of this aircraft. Put it into a hover quite nicely. Those will really go toward the points of the aircraft. Looks as if the plane has enough power to be able to hover as well. That is a great solid plane, but only a 6.5 at the end of the day. What a great run for the Aeroworks 150cc. Our next plane is the Russian Thunder. What a solid takeoff as it gets into the air to show off its inverted performance. The color scheme, I may say, is very, very nice on this aircraft, with the blue, the red, and the white. Straight into the inverted. What a nice execution of the inverted that the pilot has done for the Russian Thunder. Seems as the plane is being pushed down. Now let's check the hovering capabilities of this aircraft. The only problem is the tail surface of the aircraft is too weak to force it up for a hover, which will drop lots of points off of the Russian Thunder. The Russian Thunder will be rated a 5.5. Not a terrible run for the Russian Thunder, but a kind of disappointing one. Next, we have the Super Decathlon. This plane may not look like an aerobatic plane to you, but it sure definitely is. First into the inverted, or maybe the pilot may wait, and now into the inverted. We'll look at those amazing checkered patterns on the underside of the wing. It seems as the pilot has to push up on the stick as the plane wants to go down, but it is executing the inverted very, very well, and the takeoff was also amazing. Now let's check the hovering capabilities, but the tail is also too weak, so the Super Decathlon will only get a 6.0. Not a bad run. We next have the extra 300 liter. What an amazing takeoff, straight into the inverted. What amazing, extraordinary, crazy colors on that aircraft. Whoever did the paint job on this aircraft was not worried about what other people thought. That paint job will really, really get this airplane points. But also the inverted is amazing on this airplane. Looks like the pilot's giving off a little bit of showing. Now let's try and see the hovering. The pilot's trying to get into a hover, but yet again, another plane with a bad tail. But since the paint scheme was so amazing, folks, this plane gets a rating of 7.0. Not a bad show with an extra 300 liter. Next, we have the Yak 54, originating from Russia. What an amazing takeoff, straight into the hover. It seems as the tail is failing because it is not able to hover very well, but the pilot goes straight into the inverted. The takeoff, I may say, was very, very nice and short. And wow, look how close that pilot is to the floor. And now he's doing some extras off to the crowd. But this plane was not able to hover either. This plane will also get a 6. Now to the Yak 55. Straight into The hover. What an amazing hover that the pilot is keeping. This plane must be on the podium. What an amazing, amazing hovering for this aircraft. This Yak 55 team must be very, very proud. The Yak 55 is the brother of the Yak 54, both designed in Germany for stunt flying. Now straight into the inverted flight. What amazing inverted flight this pilot is executing. And some extra flips there, and the pilot will stay inverted. Because of the amazing paint scheme, the amazing takeoff of this aircraft, the Yak 55 will be going home with a rating of 8.5. Next we have the Edge 540. Straight out of the takeoff, straight into the hover. What an amazing hover that is being held by the Edge 540. And I may say the paint scheme was very, very nice as well, with the blue underside of the wing and the yellow outer body. This plane looks like it can keep itself up in the sky. Now, the pilot will show off its inverse skills. What amazing inverse skills this pilot is showing. This one might be one of the best planes out there. Now, he's just flying around, interestingly, because he has done all of the requirements in order to be inside of the competition. And now he comes in for a landing. The Edge 540 gets a rating of 9.0. Now we have another version of the Yak, which is the Yak 54. And what an amazing hover the pilot is showing here. What an amazing, amazing hover. And also the paint scheme with the underside of checker is absolutely amazing. And now he will attempt to go into the inverted. What a perfect inverted. The plane does not want to pitch down. The takeoff was amazing. The paint scheme is amazing. The inverted was amazing. And also the hover was amazing, except he lost the hover there for a bit. So the Yak 54 will be going home with an 8.7 out of 10. Next plane we have is the Extra. Another version of the Extra, 38% from Great Plains. This plane had a very good takeoff, and now we will see. It will now demonstrate his inverse quality of the plane. What an amazing inverse. The pilot is not going too far off the ground. And the red and the yellow and the orange paint scheme go perfectly together. What an amazing airplane this thing is. Although let's see if we can get to see this thing go into a hover. I think that's it. Oh, wait. And it goes into a hover, but it cannot hold it. It will come down, and it'll be a sympathy 8 for the Extra. Our next plane, the most detailed of the night, the Spotch 350. As you can see, the canopy is open, and when you move the sticks on the inside move. What amazing detail and craftsmanship of this aircraft. And the paint scheme is amazing, the takeoff was amazing, and now he'll try and go straight into the hover. Let's see the hover, folks. The hover is quite amazing on this aircraft. This aircraft was all made for performance. Now we'll see some inverted action going on. This pilot is not using this airplane to what its capabilities are, which is kind of disappointing. But, oh wait, what an amazing inverted. This botch, although with all of the great detail and the color, will carry it all. And this botch will be leaving the 2025 Klompien Aerobatic Championship with the Sympathy 7.0. And we don't know what just went on there. Next, we'll be flying the Zlin Acrobat from Great Plains, a classic airplane. Although this plane is very, very old, we still got put into the competition. Now we will see its inverted qualities and see if it can fly inverted. Oh, it is looking for a hover, but of course the tail is too weak and it stalls. And the inverter does not hold either, but it is an old airplane. Let's see what the pilot's gonna pull off. The inverted was not too good. The takeoff was pretty decent. The paint scheme is quite nice though. So the Zlin Acrobat will be going home with a Sympathy 6.0. Oh wait,